welcome back to Sunshine Hollow. It is a beautifully rainy, drizzly morning, and this was our first morning waking up to goats. Here they are. Here we have Java, baby Java, Wendy, and Shugs in the back. So Shugs here, Sugar for long, is going to be my main milking goat. She has Alpine in her, and she will be bred pretty soon, and I will be milking her. In here is a meat kind of goat. I don't think we're going to be using her kids as meat. We'll probably end up just selling them to get her into milk. I probably will leave the kids just on her because our family really will only consume one goat's worth of milk. But there's always the option of meat goats with Wendy's babies. Little Java here. Javi is Wendy's baby. So Java has a little bit of maybe Nubian and a little bit of boar in her, so she's kind of half and half. She just turned a year old, so we won't be breeding her for another couple years. This is their makeshift pasture for the time being, just heavily electrified netting. And this morning I did watch all three of the goats touch their nose to the fence and get a little shock, so I think they will be pretty respectful. Baby chicks were living in this pasture for the longest time, so they're so confused on why they can't get back in here. You'd think they'd be happy to be out in that beautiful grass, but they just want to be back in here. This is their second day free ranging, and they do a really good job. They just stick around the barn here. This is the baby chick side. And here are the goaty girls, tipping over their bucket as usual. I spend about a day a week with these goats already, just because they previously belonged to my sister-in-law, so we were always there, and it was always fun to go help with the chores. So I've known these goats for a very long time. I see them often, so it's not one of those moments where I'm like, oh man, this is a completely new animal in my space. I definitely am super familiar with these animals, and it hasn't really sunk in yet that I'm their sole caregiver. The greenhouse. The greenhouse is bumping. Plants are popping up left and right. Things are looking great. The greenhouse itself is holding up a lot better than I even thought it would. It was an investment on the lower end, but nonetheless I needed a greenhouse. See, I have plants all over the floor because I'm just running out of space with all my plants. These are my dahlia tubers. They're definitely a lot more moist than I would hope for them to be, and I've definitely lost a couple. I'm no expert on sprouting dahlias, that is for certain. But I do know you don't want them to be too moist because they're very susceptible to rot as they're breaking their dormancy. So hopefully that pans out. These are some Cold Hardy Bachelor's buttons and Black Eagle wheat. I love this tray of amaranths because of the mix of the beautiful little red seedlings and the green. Soon, probably tonight, I'll have to pot all this stuff up into bigger pots from the channel trays. But everything is looking awesome. These are flax that I potted up a couple days ago, and some poppies. They are thriving in their new bigger containers. The garden. Got some of my tulip trials blooming. Just beautiful. I have one anemone bloom and another promise of one. She doesn't want to open because it's too cold out this morning. Catnip is looking lush as ever. There is no stopping catnip. And those peas and radish that I sowed not too long ago. A pea and a radish. They're looking good. I just weeded them the other day, and this gentle, warm, long-lasting rain that we've been having is definitely helpful. Along this trellising that is the length of the garden, on both rows there is sweet peas sown of all different kinds and colors. I'm really excited to see how that looks. It's going to be probably really beautiful, or it's going to absolutely pull down these trellising. So we'll wait for that. Here in this little blank spot that we couldn't reach the trellising, and we didn't want to cut another piece, I've sown spinach. Don't see anybody coming up yet, but can't wait till that's all in lush spinach. My lemon balm, the most vibrant color. Don't mind the winter burn on them. They are super hardy. So we got our bee nuke last night. Nuke short for nucleus, because what we bought was an already functioning cell with an established queen who is already laying. That makes all the difference. If you don't have a queen in your beehive, then the bees won't stay and they'll go look for another queen. I cannot wait to share all that I'm learning about bees with all of you. Mitch has done such extensive research, and it's just amazing when he talks about them. Bees are the most amazing creature. I am so humbled by them. I'm humbled by them in that I got stung in the face 3 times last night trying to put our hive in. Yeah, that hurt for sure. It gave me quite the headache. Mitch definitely got some stings on the hands. It was about 10:30 before we could even start putting the bees in, because we had to drive about a half an hour away to get the nucleus. So by the time we got home, it was super dark, and the wind was something like absolutely ferocious. I haven't seen the wind like that in a long time. It actually could physically like push me. And Mitch had the bee suit on and was brushing the bees into the hive and dumping the nucleus into the hive. And the wind was blowing like crazy, and the bees were upset. He couldn't get the smoker to work because it was so windy. I was up on the hill, maybe 20 feet away, holding a flashlight on top of the hive for him, up on an embankment. And the wind straight up blew these bees right into my face. It like projected them right into my face. And I definitely ran screaming. I definitely ran right into the truck, tore my clothes off because there were bees in my clothes, and just stayed there. I didn't come back to help Mitch, but he got it done just fine. Everything looks amazing. The hive looks amazing. I can't wait to show you once I feel comfortable going up there. They're probably still a little angry, and it's wet and cold out, so I'm sure that isn't making them the happiest. But that was our night, getting those bees into the hive. I'm definitely not mad at the bees. I really just feel horrible that they, you know, lost their lives trying to fight me off. They didn't know any better. I definitely am a little warier to go near the hive. I've pretty much most experiences I've had with beehives, I've gotten stung pretty good. On our farm last year at Fruition, we had a beehive that was really cranky, and I think they were getting ready to gear up and leave the hive. And every time we'd go to that field, my farm manager and I would have to like book it back to the warehouse because angry bees were swarming our heads and chasing us. That being said, I can't wait to show you the different stages or the different work modes that bees get into, because when you're out in the field in the summer and you're like harvesting blooms or harvesting seed heads or whatever you're doing out in the field, the bees are in like absolute work mode. They couldn't care less about you unless, you know, you accidentally grab one or lean up against one. But they are just so in their own zone working, and it's actually really, really beautiful and peaceful if you can sit back and watch them do their work, say on a bed of Tulsi. Oh man, I can't wait to show you that. But they definitely are in a different zone when they're away from the hive. When they're close to the hive, I'm not gonna say they scare me, but I am intimidated because I'm not educated yet. So I can't wait to just be more educated, be more relaxed, be more confident with the bees, and take you in for a little glimpse. When it comes to the bees and them stinging me in the face, I'm actually glad it happened, just as a moment of reminding myself, hey, I don't actually own you. I'm in servitude to you. You're your own beings, and I can never control you. I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that they showed me what I needed to be shown, and I'm happy to build a relationship with them. And a relationship that's built on mutual respect and understanding of one another. Thanks for tuning in with me today. This was a short one, but I'm excited to show you more in depth about all of those little endeavors, especially the bees. I'm really excited to show you how that progresses, and as we add more boxes onto it, and right now it's just like pouring rain, so now's not a good time, but I can't wait until I can actually show you. Thanks again. If you love these videos, make sure you subscribe. It means the world. Thank you for watching me ramble on about my days. I will catch you next time.